Hello all, welcome to this session. In this session, I'm going to answer one of the Java interview questions. That is, can we specify method parameters with final modifier in Java? The answer is yes. We can specify the final modifier for the method parameters. Okay, no matter how many parameters are specified in that particular method, before every parameter, you can specify this final modifier or keyword without any problem. Java will not give you any compiler error. It is possible. The answer is yes. But what happens when you specify this parameters of a particular method with this final modifier? You see, you can only pass the values while calling the method. You can only pass the values to that particular parameters, which are specified as final. Okay. And the values of that particular parameters cannot be updated anymore. Only you can pass the values to the method parameters. And once passed, that's it. You cannot change the values. Okay. In the program or in the method, if you try to change the values of that particular parameters, Java is going to give you the compiler error. Okay. So let me practically demonstrate what I have answered just now in a theoretical manner. For that, I'll switch to this Eclipse IDE and create a new class. So I'll name this class as class yes. Okay. And fine. I'll click on finish. And now inside this class, I'm going to create a method, public void. Let's say add sample. Okay. Some different random name I'm giving. Okay. For the class and method. That's okay. And here I'm creating two parameters, int a comma int b. So here I'll say int sum is equal to a plus b. And whenever this particular method is called and all, I would like to print the sum of these two values that got, passed to this particular method while calling it. Okay. Now how to call this particular method? So far I have not assigned or specified any final modifier before any of these parameters of this method. So without specifying the final modifier, what happens in the method, I'm going to teach you first. After that, I'll go with the final modifier anyhow. So if I have to call this particular method, either I have to create a new class and in that class main method, and in that main method, I have to create an object for this class, or inside the same class also I can create a main method, public static void main string. As you know, in Java, execution starts from the main method. So I have to create a main method to run this program. That's the only reason I'm creating this main method along with this normal method. Okay. So now if I have to call this particular method, okay, since it is a non-static method, it's a static main method is static method. So static methods can only access static stuff. So if I try to call this method, even after assigning some values, it will not take it, guys. Okay. It will not take it. Okay. It will not be able to call it because this is a non-static method or instance method. Okay. Static methods cannot call it instance method. Either I have to make this static, then I can call it. Okay. Like this, if I make it static, okay, then I can call it. No problem. Okay. I have to make it static. That's one way. Or I have to create an object. If it is non-static, I have to create an object, and using the object reference, I have to call this method. For now, let's go with the static, which is easy because static methods can call the static methods. Main method compulsory need to be static. So to call this another method, I'll make it static so that I can call. So I'm passing some values 5, 4 here. 5 will go into A and 4 will go into B. Okay. 5 will go into A and 4 will go into B. And in the method, if I try to update the value, A's value as 9, nothing will happen. You see what happens in this case is 5 will go into A, 4 will go into B. And after that, I'm updating the value of A with 9. That means even though you pass 5, it doesn't matter, guys. Java will take 9 as the updated value and 9 plus the initial value 4. 9 plus 4, 13. 13 will be printed in the output. Okay. Let's see whether 13 is getting printed in the output. You see 13 got printed. Why? Because here I am able to update the parameter value. Okay. Though you are passing some value, but here this method is updating the parameter value. It's its own value. Okay. So you can update the value of the parameter in general. But the moment you add final here and final here, let's say final before any of the parameters or both of the parameters, whatever it is, you cannot update the value of this parameters anymore. In the method, you cannot use it. Already Java compiler is giving me an error, some kind of error. Final local variable cannot be assigned and all. I have to remove this. Okay. I should not be assigning any value to this parameter because this is a final parameter. Okay. It can be only assigned value while calling the method. Okay. When you're calling this particular method, you are passing 5, 4. These are the final values of these final variables. And later, if you try to update the value of this variable A or B, it is not going to happen. So this is what happens when you specify the final modifier before method parameters. So the answer is yes, it is possible to specify final modifier for the method parameters, but the only thing is that, okay, while calling that particular method only, you can pass the values, okay, as arguments, and after that you cannot modify the values of that particular parameters either inside the method or whatever it is, okay. So with practical demonstration, I've answered this question for you. So that's all for this session. Thank you. Bye bye.